Hi everybody, I'm Dominic. In this video, what we got is a 3-valve setup for your bathtub and your shower. And you can see that it's leaking pretty good here, pretty continuous. It's not even like a drip anymore. And that water is actually hot, so we know it's the hot one. So this, I mean, although it looks clean and everything, I see a lot of corrosion down here. Not the greatest here. I really want to concentrate on the hot so we can fix the problem at hand. Just because it's hot doesn't mean that there's not some cold mixed in there. Point being is some of these can be really, really hard to come apart. And so we're going to work on the hot one first and see how that goes. So ideally it would be to replace all three of the seals or seats or both or whatever it may be. So let's start taking this apart and see what we got. First thing we want to do, I like my little pointer, my little pick set. You can use your fingernail. You want to take these caps off. But really, like one of these things, boom, get right in there, pull it off really nice. And you want to be gentle with these. If they're really old, they could break. I mean, you can buy all these brand new, and you may want to, being that you have it apart. Okay, caps are off. We're going to work on the hot one. So we look in there and I see a flathead. Okay, so what I want to do, make sure it's nice and clean in there first, because the last thing you want to do is strip that screw out. You'll have a problem. So let's turn that screw, get it out. Okay, the screw is out. That's holding that handle on. Now, again, I've seen other videos of people doing this, and obviously they already had it all apart. Well, I'm doing this. This is a real deal here. I have not had this apart yet. So I want to see how hard this handle is to come out. Give a couple little wiggles. You know, you want to go crazy. And as I'm doing that, I'm giving a little out pressure, pulling it out, and I'm just grabbing it really good and just wiggling it. I can feel it. And there we go. Okay, so that's loose. Now, we got that out. Okay, one of the things I do realize here, see you got these round tubes that they're chrome. Some of them, and yours may have this, that it's actually, they're out really far, okay? Well, that's basically how they set all the valves in the wall, where they put them in or out or like that. So right away, I know that this stem here and the whole nut around this whole everything is inside. So I know I need a special tool, kind of like a long socket to reach in there. So we got another flat screw here to cover this little cover. Normally, I don't think you're going to see this. I don't think I've ever seen ones that go like that. Whatever. Loosen that up. A long screw. Okay. And again, my little pick. Okay. All right. There's some caulk on top here. All right. Woohoo. I got that off. And look at that. Oh boy. That's definitely never been apart, huh? And if I look way in there, I can see what I got to come apart. But what we want to do, I really like to get this tube off. Majority of the time, this tube is also screwed in there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to clean up some of this caulk here and see if I can get a little bit more room just by cleaning it to see what I'm dealing with. Okay, so I went and removed the handles and our covers behind that, and you know, looks pretty old, and the water now is turned off. Now this one here, I went and cracked it loose already. These little tubes, like I was telling you, chances are they're screwed in. All right, and I have not had this off as of yet, and that's what we are. If you look in here, you see all these fine threads in here, so being that it's screwed in. And way in there, way, geez. Well, that's gonna be a barrel of fun. These other ones, I really can't get loose yet. All right, so So, okay, so obviously you could really see that we're not going to get a pair of pliers in there. I mean, not a chance. Now this one we need these long, thin. It's what they're made for this and under the a sink or something like that. I'm going to try to find one that matches up. Now we have a lot of debris in there. We do want to make sure we have a good one in there and turn it loose. Okay, I believe I'm in there. It is really tight, okay, which I don't like. Let's see. You know, although it has two sides, each one, they may look the same, but they're really not the same. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get one here. A tough one. Okay. Let's see if we can break this loose now. That is the... Oof. I mean, because if it doesn't break loose, it's a good chance I can spin everything in there and break everything apart. And then the next video is going to be how to replace a whole diverter valve. So let's give it a try. This is what I'm dealing with here. See the bigger nut on the outside? That's the actual nut that holds the whole stem in. This inner nut here, the smaller one, that's one that would be holding the packing down, which I'll explain what that is. But right now, we want to get a hold of this big nut in here and turn it counterclockwise to pull that whole stem out. Okay, well, I'm ready to break this loose. Got our socket in there and our tool here we put up there. And, you know, like I said, these can be really hard or, you know, come out easy. Okay, I feel that I cracked it loose, but it's still tight. Okay, so what I'm going to want to do, I just want to give it a couple back and forth movements to get any dirt out. Okay. Well, it feels like it came loose. Yeah, it did. Okay, so I'm pulling this out. Okay, that's loose. Voila! And there we have it. This is our whole entire stem that came out. Now you look at that. Look how beat up that seal is, okay? Now one thing, yeah, it ain't the prettiest. You see that little Phillips screw right in there? Here, let me get a screwdriver here. Well, that screw that's been there for 30 years needs to come out. Although everything's brass, which generally is easier. Yeah, that's going to be a trick. Okay, back to this. Well, we got our whole stem out. Now, as I was telling you earlier about our little socket here, you can see what we were doing. We were going right over the inner nut here, which is for your packing of the stem, to the outer. Then we broke it loose, okay? This inner one here, this is actually for the packing. So if you get to the, you got your tube here as it's coming out. Now, if it was loose, if you're opening or closing, you see water coming out, well, that's a great indication that your packing is loose here. Now, I'll tell you, these are only like between $15 and $20 for this complete unit. I would suggest really on replacing it, but you don't have to. We have our screw here. Now, everything is brass here, even that screw is brass. And that's basically what we want to do. Now, what I did, I went ahead so I didn't look like an idiot breaking the screw, because that can happen. I was able to loosen the screw up, and now we need our little pick thing here, wherever that went to, and we would use a screwdriver and pull our seal out here. Now, our seal is actually pretty stuck in there, so our seal is all, you know, doesn't look great, right? It's chopped up in there. Okay, so, you know, we don't want to just replace this black rubber seal. Inside here is a seat, which is a brass piece. And if you look in there, which I guess you're really not going to be able to see it, because I'm having a hard time seeing it, and it's so far in there. Actually, I can feel it a little bit. Okay, I'll move my finger around it. And it doesn't feel like it's cut up, which, you know, that can happen. And I'm like, hey, look at that. Do I know you? Okay, this is real important. this is a tool, believe it or not. As funky as this looks, this is a tool that's going to remove our seat. We have a smaller end here, we have a wider end here. So let's get in here, and you're just going to feel it. Oh, look at that. Feels good. So you want to move it around. Put a little pressure in it, because you don't know if anything's, blocking you there, obstructing this from going in. It's brass, okay? And we're going to put a lot of pressure on it, I'm sure. So we want to make sure that when we're pulling on this, well, turning it rather, that we actually bite it as good as we can. We don't want to try to strip it, because if we strip it, poof, you're screwed. All right, so let me give this a try. Okay, that's, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep the tool pushed in on it, because we don't want to drop that seat. Oh, now, okay, it's out. Oh, boy. And look at that. See what I mean? That's why I was careful, because boom, what it fell. And there's our seat. Okay. Other than that, it looks dirty. We have a couple marks here from the tool. So if you notice any of that, so putting all that pressure, a couple little marks on there, not the end of the world. Okay, but it's not that good. Okay, for the $2 this piece costs, right, let's get new ones. Okay, so basically, what I want to do, now I can either remove this seal. Okay, there we go. Because, see how flat the side is there? See how nice and pretty that looks? And the side here, not so pretty. And what's happening, this is what's happening. When we tighten it up to turn the water off, it screws in and it makes a nice flat seat here and stops the water flow. Now, although this does by eye, wow, that looks good. How is that leaking? But you seen it earlier. It was leaking really bad. So we're going to we'd want to replace the seal and replace the seat. Always replace the seat. I mean, honestly, it's not worth it. You think you get away with it, you're going to replace a 10-cent piece of rubber, and it's going to work. It will work for, a day, a couple days or whatever, but this is metal, and this is going to chew the shit out of that seal as soon as it can. So honestly, it's not worth it. Even though this one looks really good, I'm still replacing it because I know it's no good. And as far as the stem, I'm going to go to the store right now, and I'm going to see if we can actually get a whole new one, because it just makes things a lot easier. And as far as the packing, the seal inside here, which wasn't leaking, but still the same. Let's see if we can get a new one. But that's my preference, okay? Okay, well, after going to the store and realizing I did buy a stem here, but it's not, 100%, and unless I get really will work, but it's actually a 1/4 inch longer, but it's the closest match I can find. So instead, I decided, you know what? I went and got the kit, which was just a couple dollars. It comes, with a screw that I just dropped. Okay, and we got a new seal, so we replace this seal here. It's a carbon, a little fiber there. A new seal. You can see how much nicer that looks. Okay, so we're just going to put that on, and it comes with a new screw, and we're just going to tighten that up. Now, how tight do we tighten the screw? Snug. Okay, nothing crazy. Boom, boom, like that. Okay, not a big deal. And more importantly, it came with our new seat. Okay, so remember, this is our old one. This is our new one. Looks good, good match. More importantly, the threads on that. And the rest of this is really, really simple. Okay. Usually I like to put in with a screwdriver, but I don't have one big enough. We got our tool here. Remember this? Okay. Look right in there. Nice and clean. Line it up. And very carefully, you give it some turns, very gently on this. Do not be forceful, especially with a tool like this, because you have all this length, which is really going to make it sloppy. Okay, so we want to definitely make sure we're good. And we're good. Okay, so it's in, so I'm going to give it, okay, nice turn, so it's nice and tight. And then we have our whole new piece. Now, see, our seal, remember our old one, didn't fall off because it was on there for so long, so it's kind of stuck. You see this one, see how it likes to fall off? Okay, so important, keep it up. You don't want that to get in the way. And then fit it in, give a couple little shakes, and look at that. And the new one goes in. Pretty simple. Get our tool. Get in there. Okay. All snug by hand. Okay, now. Okay. And that's it. It's in. It's good. Everything's tight. I'm going to put our tube back on. I mean, it's a pretty simple deal here to fix. Unless you have something really old that's like this, that's like ancient history. So now we got to put the rest of this back together. Get the water turned on. Because actually we're in a condo unit that they actually turn the water off somewhere else for you. Which is kind of like a pain to do. I just put this tube. Here we go. Oh, and like I said earlier in the video, we're going to replace these other two. Well, I'll tell you what. The only way these are coming off, you see this one's already started to crack in here. I'm actually a little nervous about replacing these. Considering I'm doing a friend a favor by doing this one that was leaking. I tell you, I don't think this one's coming out without problems here. So being that it wasn't leaking, I'm not touching it. Just gonna do this one here, clean up some caulk here, put all these back together, and have them turn the water on. I'll see you in a few minutes after we get the water on. Okay, well, the water's back on. I cleaned up my mess. Everything's back together. And again, this only cost me, really under $5, all right? I shit you not. You got your seat, you got the seal, all right? Now, if you look at these, they really don't look bad. But look, it's not dripping. Or in our case, it was running, okay? And again, just to go back, I did not replace our cold one because this thing's been in here for over 30 years and it was really, really stuck. So instead of, making this whole big deal where things are going to start breaking maybe, or, I soak it up with a lot of WD-40, let it sit overnight or a couple days even. I just decided, you know what, let's just fix the problem that's here so I can go back and do my real job instead of doing a little faucet repair for people. Okay, so under $5, boom. The seal, the seat, very important. I put a new screw because it came with a new screw. And the fiber seal that goes around that whole stem. Okay, you want to see it work? All right, water's on. Anyway, hope you learned how to do something. Couple bucks, quick fix. Thanks for watching.